Hey everyone, Brian here, and before we dive into the full set, I just want to say thank you so much for checking it out. If you feel like these videos earn it, like, sub, and share. Feel free to leave a comment below. That's great ways of supporting these here in the YouTube algorithm, but the best way is to share this out with anybody who needs a laugh. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. I do want to say that the uncensored, unedited version of this set is up for channel members here on the channel. And that's just as a thank you so that they are able to help cover the cost of filming these. But guys, I just really appreciate you being willing to check out my comedy, and I really hope you get a good laugh out of it. So thanks again and enjoy the show.
All right. Let's keep that same energy, ladies and gentlemen. Will said that weekend is who go outside. Are y'all ready for your next comedian? Yeah. Thank you. Let's give it up for Mr. Brian Mumford.
Any ladies here think it was cute that Kevin said that he's having a baby next month? I think if a dude had a baby, we would be extinct pretty quickly. Hi guys, my name's Brian, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you guys tonight, and not stuck at home with my kids. Exactly. I don't know if anybody's here come inside a woman so hard that she's squirted out a bundle of responsibility, but I'm a seasoned pro. Right now, my wife and I have 5 kids. Wow. Thank you. My 6th sex trophy is going to be due here in April. What's up, sir?
You figured out how it happened?
Yeah, we're actually good at it. Yeah. Really good at not pulling out, 100%. So, my 6th sex trophy is going to be due actually here in the next month. So, yeah. I don't know if we're stopping yet. I told her that she can make that call. So we'll see. People wonder what it's like, having 5, 6 kids, and I always say, I do stand-up comedy to de-stress. What's interesting about having so many kids is that one part of my story with my wife, is we weren't actually able to have children for a very long time. She had a brain tumor, and for some reason that actually prevented us from having children. And it's in a weird way because for the longest time, I, as a witness to this, you would see people asking her questions like, when are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? Have you thought about having kids? And I know very well that night, I'm going to be holding her crying because she's just wanting to have children and she's unable to. And I don't know if anybody's here ever held their women, at night while they cry themselves to sleep because they feel broken and not get a boner. It's not a good conversation starter. Hello and goodbye in that situation. But through some circumstances, we've been able to have children. And I love being a dad. I love it. It's been my calling. It's something that we always wanted. And going from not being able to have children to being in the waiting room with a baby on the way was a miraculous style of, an experience. Something that is akin to nothing that I could relate to you in words on this planet. We went from not having children, and then my wife gave birth to my daughter. And I say this in all sincerity. I loved my wife 100% before the baby was born, but afterwards, my love for her was magnified. Just blown away. I wish my dick was magnified, but God only grants some wishes in this case. But being a dad is a great calling, but I tell you, being a parent sucks. It sucks. It's hard. It's difficult. It's kind of like you always love your children, but it's easier to like them the further they are away from you at times. Just like minorities in your neighborhood. Far away. Or just not the poor ones. I like that joke as a white guy, because if I was moving into a black neighborhood, they would not be happy. Shit. Gentrification, I think is the term. I think it's only important to say that I'm not Louis C.K. I look like the guy who ate Louis C.K. But it's going well. It's going well. No. having a lot of kids, it's like obviously like an interesting experience. One that a lot of people look at me like I'm a farmer, like I've got land, I've got cattle, and that's not happening at all. But we've been in, lockdown. People are like, well, I mean, what else were you gonna do? The government was paying me money for kids. It was great. We had nowhere to go. We were just kind of at home, so we just were like, well, let's see what happens. You kind of lose count when you're in lockdown. You're like, I don't know what day it is. But then the government took that away, just like the Indians. Feather, not dot, guys. Just feather, not dot. And there's one thing I want to say. I love Indians. I did some time in Oklahoma, in school. But I love Indians. One of the things that is the most awesome thing about Indians is how inquisitive they are, how curious they are. They're always asking how. When they're not drunk. Oh, don't act like you were worried about the Indians. You benefited from all their genocide for the last 100 years without a single worry. We beat them with corn and blankets, people. Corn and blankets. But speaking of the Holocaust, since y'all were I do love the Jews. I always wished I was a Jew. Growing up, I always thought it'd be cool. I'm kind of a Jew. I'm Catholic. Some of y'all are going to hate this next part. So I'm Jew-ish. You know what's cool about being Catholic, though? The Jews killed my God, but then we took their book. And in a total power play, we called it old. And then we're like, hey, we got this new book. Nintendo just did that with Mario. They're like, hey, we're going to do Super Mario Brothers. That shit's 20 years old, and it's still the new Mario Brothers. In 100 other years, it's still going to be the New Testament. Yeah. But, having a lot of kids, kind of a challenge. People ask, what are you going to do? And I go, well, can't do anything about it now. But, things change, right? Recently, women just lost the ability to murder their children. It's a pretty big thing. I want to come out on defense here and say that I wasn't for women murdering babies. But I do support women having the right to murder people. They should get at least 3 murders somewhere along the line. Doesn't matter who. I would say every woman should be entitled with 3 no ask, no tell, no consequence murders right out the gate. See, my vote is that they would be allowed to murder mentally. And I got a surefire way of identifying somebody who's mentally if they go by the name senator, or if they go by the name president, or maybe congressperson. I think that would be fair. I don't know. We'll float that down and see how the government responds to that one. So I'm coming up on 13 years being married this year. So it's pretty awesome. Thank you very much. Anybody here married here tonight? Got a married person back there? Got something out here? All right. So what I found was interesting about being married for 13 years is Adolf Hitler was married.
Really?
Yeah. He married Ava Braun, and in less than 24 hours, he blew his brains out. Yeah. Guess I'm better than Hitler. Like this whole marriage thing. Couldn't even make it a day. What a fucking pussy. Right? Like the guy killed 6, 7, 8 million Jews? And he couldn't silence one woman? I mean, come on. You'd think he would know a guy. Yes. I'm just going to let that one sit there. But, I got a confession. To all the whites here tonight. Which is the majority of us. We'll meet after this. I have absolutely no idea how they managed to keep all that blackface on the Little Mermaid. I'm guessing it's some kind of CGI. I thought it would wash off, in the trailer, but I was like, oh no. Now, what's great about this is that recently, one of my friends happens to be black just because I'm cool. He looked at me, and this is the weirdest conversation. This is a true story. He looked at me and says, "You're all right, Ryan. I'm going to give you a hall pass. You are allowed to say the N-word."
No, he didn't.
No, that's true. No, he did. His name's Michael. He's a good meeting. And I go, huh. I got some questions. Like, is this a physical card? Or is my friend mad at me? Like, just imagine. He's hanging out with all his buds, and they're talking, and they're like, they're sitting around the table going like, "Hey, what happened to that white ginger that you were hanging out with?" And you gotta imagine though, he's like, I forgot my blackface, so you gotta use your imagination. But he looks around and goes, "Ginger's dead." And I have to say, what's up with the hard G? Because only a ginger can call another ginger, I believe. Anyway, guys, my name is Brian. You've been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. Let's get this party going.
Fucking gingers. Fucking Irish. Blackface. I'll leave 4 or 5 niggas in here. You don't get, man, look here, man. I ain't trying to say what I'm just saying. I heard y'all was the niggas of Irish, but I'm just saying, you just can't throw the blackface out here for 4 or 5 black boys like that.